you were probably wondering if I was going to say anything. Um, I wanted you to kind of suck all that in. It's well, now it's a rainy afternoon in South Georgia. Here comes the baby. Baby. Um, we had about a 2-hour window this morning before the rain was going to come in. And me and the youngest boy was here in the cabin last night. Had a lot of conversations with beavers last night. And was going to hunt for a couple hours and then, get down. And we're all bow hunters, so we're not in big fancy condominium stands with heaters and wipers and Wi-Fi. We just hang on the side of trees. And so, anyway, we decided we would, or I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sleep. And that's what I did. I slept. And then I'd wake up and sleep some more, and sleep some more, until finally the bride texted me, and she was like, "Are you okay?" Because she's got Life 360, so she's always got to make sure I'm behaving myself. And by that I mean not getting hurt. And I said, "Yeah, I'm just sleeping." When I was growing up, we had a one-room cabin on a little river. We had electricity. When we first got the cabin, there was no running water. You used to have to bring water in like 5-gallon jugs. And then they went high tech and got a well, but the water was never heated and we never had indoor plumbing. And we had an outhouse. And when it came to the point of like, we used to camp here at the pond, and then at some point I was like, man, let's just get a cabin. So we got this thing. And, the boys were young. And, we did all the work on the inside. And we don't have any electricity. We don't have any running water. I've rigged up some water tanks, and I even have a shower in another building behind this that I rigged up. And it took a lot of ingenuity to make it work, but it works. And so if you want to take a shower, you can take a quick Marine Corps shower and actually have some warm water. And but the point of the video is that you have to figure out some place that you can just slow it all down. That's what I think. And we recently received a comment, according to the barber, about some of our plans for 2026 from the Aunt Kathy Rockhouse Foundation. And honestly, a lot of what we're going to try to do is select some folks to help them slow it down. There is no magical genie potions. I mean, there really isn't, and there's a video coming soon that I've already done. We haven't posted it. But I think, all these programs that are out there in the world, in TV land, they're all good programs, and I agree with them, and I'm trained in one of them. And what they do is they kind of open your soul. And that is a sometimes hard task, and sometimes it's a very easy task if you've got the right atmosphere. The key is, once you open that soul, is to keep it open when you go back to whatever that is. When I come here, it's only a half mile from the house. Childhood memories, very good childhood memories. And I've often said it, written it, talked about it. If you had a good childhood and life kind of jacks you up when you're an adult, then do those childhood things. Play basketball, ride a bicycle, whatever. For me, being in the outdoors just kind of slows it all down for me. I sleep better here than I do a half mile from here. I love sleeping next to my bride every night. I like my house. It's just a modest house. Ain't nothing fancy. Ain't a bunch of crap to clean. But here, I just sleep. I don't know why, but I do. Maybe because it just all slows down right here. Or maybe because I wake up next to a pond. I don't know what it is. But the key of the video today is, and I'm going to spin you around, kind of show you what I'm looking at. You know, is that if we do some of these programs, and we're going to, the key of that's going to be, and it's not magical, it's just trying to help some folks out there in TV land understand, you know, you try to slow it down a little bit. Try to open that doorway to their soul and kind of help them keep it open, you know, when they go back. Because you see it time and time again, you know, people go off, they do a program, oh man, I never felt better, they call their family members and whatever. And then as soon as they go back, it's the grind. The grind gets them and sucks them back down that rabbit hole. You know, I found a lot of places in the earth to slow it down. You know, I'm an outdoorsman, clearly. I was raised in the woods, and hopefully, if I had my way, I'll die in the woods. But, you know, for some people it isn't. But nature has a calling. And I think the big thing is that being able to ground yourself, is to ground yourself to the earth and just slow things down. And that's why I write all the time about the influence of man. Mankind's done wonderful things, but mankind's also spun us up. And so, you know, my bride's texting me asking me if I'm okay. I just slowed it down today. I got a pile of stuff to do. Don't matter. I'll get to it. So with that being said, I'm going to spin you around. You would absolutely love my camera mount today because it's a cooler with a boot jack. And if you don't know what a boot jack is, then you should. And then the phone's just sitting on top of that. And now the baby's over there checking out what the beavers were doing last night. Hang on. So there's my camera mount. That's a boot jack. There's the baby. She's precious. That's the pipe we're always unplugging. Don't get me started on beavers. We didn't do any campfiring last night. We got a little late on us, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at this morning. So who am I today? I'm a guy that's sharing this gift, which I truly believe is a gift. I'm sharing it with y'all. I hope for some of you it slows that grind down. It connects you to the earth. I try to not study social media too much. I see a lot of times, you know, it's just like a game that's being played. You know, show a bunch of violence, people will click on the button. Show a bunch of body parts, they'll click on the button. I'm not really sure how that helps people. Our agenda, our mission, our focus is to help people. And so that's what we're trying to do here is, you know, I feel absolutely privileged, blessed, honored to wake up and look at that. Do I work for some of that? Yeah, I do work for some of that. But it's out here. And as we move forward with our projects and things that we're going to do, that's all we kind of want to do is share some of that with some decent folks that might be struggling a little bit. They get kind of twisted around that axle, wrapped, wake up with junk in their head. I'm telling you folks, there ain't no magic mojo out there. It really isn't. It's just getting together with a bunch of other folks, realizing you ain't alone in your squirrel cage. And it's like everything, you know, tricks. I got really into climbing trees now, like with my spikes. And I got a lady that's going to show me some tricks because I ain't got it all figured out. A few of us may know tricks in every field or, you know, fashion that we're into. And that's kind of the plan. So today, I feel absolutely fortunate to be waking up next to that, sleeping in, standing out here in the rain, because guess what? It ain't acid, so it don't really hurt. And a little bit of rain on your forehead feels good, in my opinion. And then I get to watch the baby. Baby! She's absolutely precious. So we got to go. We actually have another pond to go to. that is very beaver problematic. Don't get me started on beavers. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.